Now on CoastTV News.
Ready for traffic relief. The long-anticipated Millsboro Bypass is set to open. Why it is supposed to improve the flow of traffic in one of Sussex County's most congested areas.
Lewes fees continue.
I think it's depleting some revenue from the shops in Lewes.
While it is now free in many coastal communities, how Lewes's paid parking could affect its businesses.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It's a cool, crisp start, waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Fall officially arrives this afternoon, but will it feel like it? My full forecast in minutes.
Maryland rebate rollout. We look at the upcoming announcement that is hoped to bring some relief to energy bills.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And it is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
And I got to get this one in, Elisa. Today is the day after the 21st of September.
Yes, and at 2:19 today, it will officially be fall.
Yep,
Goodbye,
saw
summer.
that too.
Goodbye, summer. The temperatures outside this morning in the high 50s, Chris, so it's kind of feeling like fall. Not exactly.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's actually feeling pretty cool out there. We're getting a little bit of radiational cooling, clear skies and calm winds, and some areas away from the coast are falling into the mid-50s at this hour. We're at 66 in Ocean City. Winds are out of the northeast at about 3 miles an hour. Visibility not an issue this morning, but you can see away from the coast, we're down to 52 in Redden, 52 Laurel, 52 in Harrington, and we're at 54 in Salisbury. There you see the winds. Wind flow out of the northeast, but they're pretty calm at this hour, and they're going to stay pretty calm for most of the day. Under the influence of high pressure, and high pressure is really going to keep us sunny and dry today. It's not going to be until midweek where we see a cold front push through our area and give us an increase in showers and storms. In fact, yes, fall arrives today, but humidity and the warmth is going to be rising. In fact, a warm front is going to be pushing through the area tonight, and that's going to allow for temperatures to rise and humidity levels. Then we turn unsettled mid to late week. We start off in the 50s and 60s this afternoon, up to about 68 by around 10 o'clock today. Mostly sunny skies, a really nice day ahead of us with temperatures rising into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Now, we do have a high risk of rip currents, and that's all thanks to Hurricane Gabrielle way out in the Atlantic. We'll talk more about that coming up, but we'll also talk more about the risk of showers and storms beginning mid to late week, and that's all thanks to a cold front that may stall out over the area late in the week. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. Our top story this hour, after decades of planning, the North Millsboro Bypass is finally ready to open. Happening today, Deldot says it will hold an official ribbon cutting at 10:30 a.m. This road will fully open on Tuesday. The bypass is an over 2-mile connector that stretches from US 13 to State Route 24, and the goal is to ease congestion in downtown Millsboro, especially with beach and truck traffic.
Starting today, Nassau Road will close for over a month. This is a part of a multi-year project to revamp Route 1 around Minos-Conway Road. And take a look at this. Deldot's plan showed 2 roundabouts, one at Nassau and New Road and one at Janus Road. So you'll be able to cross Route 1 without going on the highway.
Happening today, Georgetown Council set to hear strategies on how to protect memorials in the circle. This after there was damage from from the memorials being hit by cars, and the concern that of those memorials. That includes the memorial for fallen officer Chad Spiker that would move elsewhere. And we have images here of when Spicer's memorial and the one honoring former Chief Harvey Gregg were knocked down. The Georgetown Circle Committee is recommending the memorials get placed further from the road and closer to the fountain. And that recommendation comes after months of review.
The Circle Committee has done is moved from their original locations, which were in harm's way, obviously, and kind of offset those from the traffic as it enters the circle. So just that in and of itself will add a layer of safety, not only to the monument, but to the people who may be visiting the monument.
And the committee is also recommending the plaques and memorial bricks get placed in the circle, and that recommendation goes in front of the council tonight at 7.
New in Delaware, lawmakers are back in Dover today for an extraordinary session called by Governor Meyer. According to Meyer's proclamation, the state is expected to review the nomination of a new secretary for the Department of Veterans Affairs and a judge for the Court of Common Pleas. Also on the agenda, appointments and reappointments to key boards across the state, including the State Board of Elections and Board of Parole. Meyer says the Senate is expected to gather today at 3 o'clock.
New in Rehoboth Beach, a longtime inn could soon get replaced with new homes. The city's Board of Adjustment will consider plans from the owners of the Canalside Inn on 6th Street to tear down the commercial property and build 2 single-family homes. According to the owners, one house is designed for the family's primary residence. The other would go up for sale. And in a letter to neighbors, the couple said the project would reduce traffic and parking pressure, add green space, and better match the scale of nearby homes.
New this morning in most of Delaware's coastal towns, paid parking enforcement has ended for the season, but not everywhere. Lewes is the last town still charging for parking, with beach parking running through September 30th and downtown meters active through October 14th. Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick Island all wrapped up on September 15th. One person CoastTV spoke with thinks the extended enforcement impacts local businesses more than drivers.
I think it's depleting some revenue from the shops in Lewes, because if they're going to go to Dewey for the 2 weeks in September or Rehoboth, they're getting the revenue and not Lewes.
And the cost for beach parking is $2.50. In downtown, it's $1.50.
A possible tornado rotation was reported in Denton, Texas Sunday night. Look at this. This is reports of damage that came shortly after that, and you can see several buildings were toppled or overturned. According to reports in Denton County, the power remained out for much of the area. The Denton County Office of Emergency Management activated their Emergency Operations Center. They set up mobile communications to help the city of Sanger, which is north of Dallas. And this just in, later this morning, we'll find out how much of a break Marylanders are getting in a rebate to help with their energy bills. Governor Wes Moore is scheduled to announce this at a press conference in Randallstown. A plan that was approved this year reportedly will give Marylanders about $80 per household. The money's coming out of the Strategic Energy Investment Fund that was created under legislation passed by the General Assembly. A second round of rebates is expected in the early part of 2026.
New overnight, it's been 12 days since right-wing activist and influencer Charlie Kirk was killed during a Turning Point USA event on the campus of Utah Valley University. Sunday, tens of thousands gathered in his home state of Arizona to say goodbye. The 31-year-old activist and influencer is remembered by friends, fans, and colleagues as a Christian and conservative role model. Kirk's widow, Erica, says to forgive the man accused of killing her husband and promising to grow their message and mission.
Will become greater. I am tremendously honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
President Trump says he will soon posthumously award Kirk the Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Trump is back in the city after speaking Sunday at Charlie Kirk's memorial. The nation faces more tough questions on free speech.
Now, Kirk was a staunch advocate for free speech protections, but in the wake of his death, there are new concerns.
This from the suspension of ABC late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, the new rules at the Pentagon. NBC's Alice Barr show us the debate happening now across the country.
What do we do? This morning, pressing questions from both sides of the aisle about free speech in America, as tens of thousands said goodbye to the murdered conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a public memorial in Arizona.
I will miss him so much because our marriage and our family were beautiful.
Many, including President Trump, honoring Kirk's commitment to promoting free speech.
It's the right and inheritance of every free American, the greatest legacy of the Enlightenment, and among the most treasured achievements of civilization. We will defend it at all costs.
Now, in the wake of Kirk's assassination, there are new concerns about censorship, thrust to the forefront after ABC indefinitely pulled its late-night host Jimmy Kimmel off air after his comments about Republicans' response to Kirk's murder that led to criticism from the FCC chairman and suggestions of potential action involving the network's license. President Trump has since made similar comments. Lawmakers in both parties weighing in.
The FCC was wrong to weigh in, and I'll fight any attempt by the government to get involved with speech.
Censorship and what we're seeing from the federal government only serves to further divide us and make us less safe.
It comes amid new Defense Department restrictions that journalists can no longer gather or report information, even unclassified, without authorization from the government or risk losing their press credentials. The National Press Club calling it a direct assault on independent journalism, while Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth argued the press does not run the Pentagon, the people do. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening tonight, the Ravens close out Week 3 of the NFL season when they host the Lions in a Monday Night Football matchup. Both teams dropped their opener and both won their Week 2 games, including the Ravens' 41-17 rout of the Browns. Kickoff tonight at the stadium is set for 8:15.
And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, warm welcome. We'll show you what is next for 2 new commissioners in Rehoboth Beach.
Also celebrating culture, we'll show you all the festivities from this year's Festival Hispano in Georgetown over the weekend.
And TikTok deal details, why top U.S. leaders say a deal could be coming soon about the popular social media platform. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. I hope it was a wonderful weekend, and it certainly was a cool one. We dipped into the 70s after hitting 90 on Friday. We're at 54 right now in Salisbury. Winds are pretty calm, and we're going to remain clear. Could see some patchy fog, at least over the next few hours. Not going to see anything widespread. 64 by around 9. You can see those temperatures away from the coast. We're at 53, Bridgeville 55, Milton 55, Georgetown a bit milder at the coast, 65 in Rehoboth to 64 in Ocean City. There was that high of 90. We really overperformed as far as the temperatures go Friday. Then we had that backdoor cold front, 72 yesterday with that east wind coming off the ocean. We are under the influence of high pressure. We're tracking a cold front that's going to be arriving by Wednesday. Well, fall officially arriving, well, this afternoon, 2:19 p.m. The Earth is now going to be tilted on its axis. You see the sun rays are going to be pushing right towards the equator, and they'll have equal days, equal daylight, as well as equal nighttime hours, and we're going to begin to slowly lose daylight here over the course of the next few weeks as we approach daylight saving there early November. Mostly sunny skies through the afternoon today. We do have a high risk of rip currents, all thanks to Hurricane Gabrielle. Temperatures rising into the mid to upper 70s. It's going to get even warmer in the days ahead, and we'll also talk about some rain and storm chances late week. We'll talk more about that in the full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Traffic alerts for Sussex County, starting with a road closure in Lewes happening today. According to Deldot, lanes along the southern part of Mulberry Knoll Road, just east of Route 24, will close for paving work. You can see that area right here on your screen. The agency says that project is expected to last through mid-October.
And in Milton, new lane closures are coming to Route 1 and Route 16. Deldot says starting Wednesday, October 1st, Route 1 will see daytime lane closures Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with overnight closures 7 days a week from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. on Route 16. Now, daytime closures will run every day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with overnight work also occurring. Deldot says these hours will continue through the off-peak season until the end of April 2026.
The Trump administration says a deal to keep TikTok operating in the United States should be complete in a few days. A group of U.S. investors will own 80% of the app. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Saturday, under the proposed plan, the United States will have control over the social media app's algorithm.
People are noticing a difference if they get their vehicle repaired. The latest Consumer Price Index report shows a jump between July and August, and overall car repairs are up 15% from a year ago. Analysts say the tariffs are mostly to blame, and the Trump administration has slapped fees on both imported autos and parts.
Well, it's a cool, crisp start to our Monday. Some of us are falling into the lower to mid 50s away from the coast. Sunrise coming up at 6:49. We'll talk about sunshine, warm temperatures, a little bit of a rise in humidity, as well as some unsettled weather in the week ahead. We'll talk all about it coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
Time is 5:18, and you are looking live at the lights of the Ferris wheel in Ocean City, down by the inlet. Our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono's back with us. And Chris, first day of fall hits this afternoon. When it does, it'll still feel like summer.
Yeah, believe it or not, we have a warm front that's going to be pushing through the area tonight, and we're going to see a high rise in humidity and our temperatures here over the next few days. But this morning, nice cool crisp start. 55 Milton, 53 Bridgeville. We're at 54 in Salisbury, 65 in Rehoboth. Winds are pretty calm, clear skies. That's allowing for temperatures away from the coast to really fall at this hour. Still seeing that push out of the east-northeast along the coast. Dew points right now, not too bad, actually pretty comfortable. We're in the 50s, but as that warm front pushes through tonight, you're going to see the humidity really begin to rise Tuesday through Thursday, and then another cold front may stall out over the region late in the week. So you can see we're clear, we're dry, some showers and storms well out to the west across portions of Ohio, western Pennsylvania. The cold front that's going to be impacting us still way back off to the west. A marvelous Monday, 81 to 80 across much of the interior, 78 Federalsburg, 76 Cambridge. We'll see 81 in Salisbury, 79 Pocomoke City. So there's the clear skies through the afternoon, a gorgeous day along the coast, and we're going to see clouds a bit on the increase through the overnight as that warm front lifts through. Could wake up to some patchy fog, but by tomorrow, we're pushing into the mid to potentially some upper 80s away from the coast. And then as we go into Tuesday, we are looking at the Tuesday night, we're looking at those temperatures falling into the 60s and 70s. You see precipitation chances really begin to ramp up really Wednesday night through Friday. What's going to happen is a cold front is going to be pushing through the area. Could see a late shower late Tuesday into early Wednesday morning. I think we're going to be primarily dry. Most of Wednesday is dry ahead of the front. Then we'll see a chance of some scattered showers and storms into Thursday, and then that front may actually stall out over the area. So Friday looks like the most unsettled day of the three, with a lot of clouds and scattered periods of rain throughout the day. And then the good news is it looks like we are trending drier into the weekend. That front may clear the coast by Saturday. Hurricane Gabrielle, there it is. Sustained winds 90 miles an hour, and it's actually forecasted to become a Category 3 hurricane over the next 24 hours. The good news is the system is going to stay away from the coast, but produce an increase in swells and rip currents through the week. So we do have a high risk of rip currents for today and through most of the week. We're at 80 today. Fall arriving at 219. We're down to 61 overnight under partly cloudy skies, some patchy fog possible. 84 into our Tuesday, mostly sunny. We're warm. 85 Wednesday. Most of Wednesday is dry. I think the rain doesn't arrive until Wednesday night, and then we'll see scattered showers and storms into Thursday, and then Friday a rather cloudy, gloomy day with periods of rain, and then we do have the Oceans Calling Festival going on there Friday, so looks a bit unsettled there, but we are going to dry out and cool down into the weekend with temperatures in the 70s.
Thousands of people gathered Sunday in Georgetown for the 31st edition of the Festival Hispano. North Ray Street was filled with vendors, food, and people wearing their country's flags, all celebrating Hispanic culture. Local and international artists also had the crowd dancing.
It feels incredible to be here surrounded by your own culture, your food, your people, your language, especially in a time like this to show everyone we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here and celebrate ourselves.
After covering all event expenses, the organizers donate to local nonprofits.
More to come this morning on Coast TV News Today. Warm welcome. We'll show you the big job ahead for 2 new commissioners in Rehoboth Beach. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Got caution on our beaches. Patrols along the Delmarva coast are saying goodbye for the season. Sunday was the last day on duty for the Ocean City Beach Patrol. That was also the case in Rehoboth Beach. Lifeguards say use caution when swimming as the beach patrol season comes to a close.
Rehoboth Beach has 2 new commissioners. Chris Galante and Susan Stewart were sworn in Saturday following the city's election last month. Galante is an urban planner, community activist, and businessman. He says this skill set will add to the value to the Board of Commissioners. Stewart, a lawyer and a member of the Planning Commission, says she knows what the city needs.
I think that is something that I'm going to bring to the Board of Commissioners, to be hyper vigilant and transparent in our communications. We should not be doing deals behind closed doors.
The answer to how you don't violate FOIA is you don't violate FOIA. I think Taylor Tedder is doing a spectacular job, and I think it's critical for us as a city to get behind him so this investment we made can pay off.
According to the city's website, Galante and Stewart now enter into a 3-year term. And it's the first day of fall, but I think it looks like a nice beach day for those of you who want to pretend it's still summer.
You're pointing at me. She's pointing at me, Chris. Hey, we're coming off a mixed weekend at the beaches. Friday was great. Yeah. Saturday had those strong gusts. And now, Chris, you're tracking the risk level of rip currents.
Yeah, we have Hurricane Gabrielle, hundreds of miles out in the Atlantic. Not going to impact any land, but it is going to kick up some swells here over the course of the next few days and produce a dangerous risk of rip currents. We're at 63 right now in Ocean City, 55-degree dew point, so it's a nice, calm, pleasant start to our day. Temperatures in Ocean City rising to the mid to upper 70s, as well as Fenwick Island with that high risk of rip currents, seas about 2 to 4 feet. Lewes beginning in the lower 60s, on our way to highs right around 80 degrees this afternoon, as well as in Rehoboth as we make our way over to the Bayside. Plenty of sunshine. After beginning into the mid to upper 50s, we'll see temperatures rise into the mid to upper 70s by the afternoon. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Brockstead Mondalis Federico. We will talk warmer temperatures in the days ahead, as well as some unsettled weather by the end of the week, and that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, Lewes still charging for parking, why some locals call for coastal consistency.
Also, possibly moving monuments. That and other recommendations from in Georgetown that's being discussed today.
And decades in the making, we'll tell you what Deldot has planned to celebrate the opening of the new Millsboro Bypass. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Parking season stretches. We have the mixed reaction in one of the few remaining coastal communities that has parking fees in place as we head into fall.
Memorial Safety Move, the next steps in Georgetown's efforts to protect the memorials in the circle after recent car crashes caused some damage.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It's a cool, crisp start, waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Fall officially arrives this afternoon, but will it feel like it? My full forecast in minutes.
Canal side conversion. The changes that are getting reviewed today for a long-time Rehoboth Beach fixture on the west side of the city.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 22nd, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
5:31 a.m. and in just a couple of hours from now, fall arrives about 2:19.
You're going to go to the beach before 2 o'clock, so you can say this is my final beach. I know, but you say that fall doesn't end, summer doesn't end.
All right, yeah, just
September.
if we're playing along here, I've got my own internal calendar, and I go all the way to September as a summer month.
I'm sure you're not alone in that. I feel like a lot of people do that. But Chris, I know you like the cooler weather. You like the winter time, which I can't agree with you on that. But I love fall, so I'm excited.
I know, and believe it or not, it's not really going to feel like fall, as you'll see coming up in the next few days. It's actually trending warmer here as a warm front pushes through later tonight. But right now, it's a cool, crisp start. We're at 60 in Dover. Winds are pretty calm through much of the area. Visibility, not an issue this morning. As you can see, temperatures with the clear skies and calm winds, we're down to 52. Redden 55, Georgetown 52, Laurel 54, in Salisbury 52, Long Neck. Wind coming off the ocean, so we're a bit milder at the coast in the mid 60s. Still under the influence of high pressure. This area of high pressure is going to slide to our southeast. Warm front pushes through later tonight, and that's going to allow for temperatures to warm even further in the days ahead. But a beautiful afternoon, wall-to-wall sunshine through Lewes, Rehoboth, Dewey Beach, Ocean City down to Chincoteague, mid to upper 70s. We do have a high risk of rip currents, and that's thanks to Hurricane Gabrielle way out in the Atlantic. So that warm front is going to allow for temperatures to surge into the mid to potentially upper 80s. Tuesday through Thursday. Humidity is going to be increasing, and that's all going to be ahead of a cold front that pushes through late Wednesday. So we're going to be pretty dry through, I think, Wednesday night. Then we'll see a chance of showers and storms, and the problem is that front may stall out over the region Thursday through Friday. We know we have a big concert there in Ocean City late week, but that front may stall and produce a lot of clouds and scattered showers and storms Thursday through Friday. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour: after decades of planning, the North Millsboro Bypass is finally ready to open. Happening today, Deldot says it will hold an official ribbon cutting at 10:30. The road will fully open Tuesday. The bypass is a 2.4-mile connector that stretches from US 113 to State Route 24. The goal is to ease congestion in downtown Millsboro, especially beach and truck traffic.
Starting today in Lewes, Nassau Road closing for over a month. It's part of the multi-year project to revamp Route 1 around Conway Road. Take a look at this. Deldot plans show 2 roundabouts, one at Nassau in New Road and one at Janus Road. And once complete, you get to cross Route 1 without ever having to go on Coastal Highway. Happening today, Georgetown Council is set to hear an idea on how to honor memorials in the circle.
This after being hit by cars, an outcry about the idea that the memorials, including for fallen officer Chad Spicer, would move elsewhere.
Yeah, these are images of when Spicer's memorial and also the memorial honoring former Chief Harvey Gregg were knocked down. Georgetown Circle Committee is recommending the memorials move further away from the road and closer to the fountain.
The committee is also recommending that plaques and memorial bricks be placed in the circle. The recommendation goes in front of the council tonight at 7 o'clock.
New this morning, it's been 12 days since right-wing activist and influencer Charlie Kirk was assassinated during a Turning Point USA event on the campus of Utah Valley University. Sunday, tens of thousands gathering in his home state of Arizona to say goodbye.
NBC's Jay Gray shows us the statements from friends and family.
Part church service, then part political rally. 95,000 or more gather in Glendale, Arizona Sunday, pulled there by Charlie Kirk's message and to share one of their own.
I believe everybody should have the right to free speech and not get shot for it here in the United States in 2025.
The 31-year-old activist and influencer, remembered by friends, fans, and colleagues as a Christian and conservative martyr.
Charlie was not silenced. His movement is only beginning.
A message echoed as a half-dozen members of President Trump's cabinet and Vice President J.D. Vance, one by one, stepped to the stage, followed by Kirk's widow, Erica.
But I will miss him. I will miss him so much.
Wrought with emotion, she shares the pain of her loss, leaning on her faith, she says, to forgive the man accused of killing her husband, and promising to grow their message and mission.
Every part of our work will become greater. I am tremendously honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
President Trump closing the more than 5-hour memorial.
I know I speak for everyone here today when I say that none of us will ever forget Charlie Kirk. And neither now will history.
His eulogy, at times spinning into a discussion of his administration's initiatives and swipes at political opponents,
the radical left lunatics,
including former President Joe Biden, before calling Kirk's widow back to the stage to a standing ovation as a banner of her late husband is unfurled from the stadium's rafters. Jay Gray, NBC News, Glendale, Arizona.
The massive summer crowds are gone and the warm weather is starting to go, but what's still here, paying for parking in Lewes.
It sure is, and CoastTV news reporter Emma Aiken shows us the price you have to continue to pay in Lewes and for how long.
Parking. You do it every day, but in some places, there's a price to pay, like in Delaware coastal towns throughout the summer. Paying for parking at Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, Bethany Beach, and Fenwick Island is now over. Fees in those areas run May 15th through September 15th. In downtown Lewes, parking fees of $1.50 per hour run through October 14th. Dominic Beningo says he doesn't like paying, but that it's worth it to visit Lewes.
If it's going to a good place, if it's for cleanup, or better security or what have you, I think it's okay.
It's not just downtown. Over at the beach, fees are still going there too. Feeling the sand and hearing the waves will cost you $2.50 per hour through September 30th. Local Lou Ward says the city's parking schedule should follow suit with the other beach towns.
I think it's depleting some revenue from the shops in Lewes, because if they're going to go to Dewey for the 2 weeks in September or Rehoboth, they're getting the revenue and not Lewes.
Even as the season slows down, the watchful eye on your license plate doesn't in Lewes. Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
In Lewes, 4th Street will close between Savannah Road and Market Street for utility work. That's according to the Lewes City website. And after that, the project will continue with single-lane closures for up to 2 weeks. City says trash pickup will continue as usual during this project. New in Rehoboth Beach, a long-time inn could soon get replaced with new homes. The city's Board of Adjustment will consider plans from the owners of the Canal Side Inn on 6th Street to tear down the commercial property and build 2 single-family homes. According to the owners, one house is for their family's primary residence and the other will go up for sale. In a letter to neighbors, the couple said the project would reduce traffic and parking pressure, add green space, and better match the scale of nearby homes.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Trump could meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky this week. And according to President Zelensky, they'll talk on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Their meeting comes as Trump says he will defend the Baltic states and Poland from Russia if necessary. That's after Russian incursions into NATO airspace. Those include flying jets over Estonia territory Friday and drones over Polish and Romanian land earlier this month.
Sooner or later, if this kind of provocation happens, we're going to have some kind of incident that will prompt a crisis. And that crisis will force President Trump, I suspect, to think about which side they want to take.
Article 5 of the NATO treaty says an attack on one member state is an attack on all of them. It requires alerting the UN Security Council, and that group is holding an emergency meeting today at Estonia's request.
And we got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, reminder of festival road closures. We'll tell you what areas in Salisbury you may want to avoid as organizers start to break down the Maryland Folk Festival.
Also, Rams rejected. Down 19 points in the second half. How the Birds came back to remain undefeated on the season.
And successful town-wide celebration will show you how locals in Greenwood came together over the weekend. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
Good Monday morning, Del Marvin. I know it's Monday, but we're starting off pretty nice out there. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, 54 in Salisbury. Winds pretty calm out there, and we're going to see plenty of clear skies through the morning, rising to about 64 at 9 a.m. under mostly sunny skies. We're down to 51 there in Long Neck, 66 Rehoboth, 53 Gumboro, 52 in Redden. We were hit 90 on Friday. Backdoor cold front dropped us down into the 70s over the weekend. We have under the influence of high pressure for now, but that's going to change as we push into the overnight as a warm front moves through. So yes, fall begins today, 219. Not going to feel like it in the days ahead. In fact, we're going to see warming temperatures. You can see the Earth tilts on its axis. The sun's rays directly on the equator, so you have equal amounts of day and night there. And there it goes. Autumn begins 219 this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine through the day today. Temperatures rising upper 70s to near 80 degrees, and it gets even warmer in the days ahead. We'll talk mid to upper 80s, and then the threat of some rain as we get into the latter part of the week. That's all coming up in the full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. New this morning, heads up for drivers in Georgetown. Prepare for overnight lane closures on Route 113. Deldot says starting Sunday, September 28th, southbound lane closures on Route 113 at Aero Safety Road will be closed at night as crews work to extend the existing turn lane. You can see that area right here on your screen. The project is expected to last about 2 weeks, weather permitting. And Greenwood is celebrating its successful Greenwood Day over the weekend. The town says everyone came together for music, food, and fun and town-wide yard sale.
The rematch tour for the Eagles continues this season. Last week it was the Chiefs. On Sunday in South Philly, it's the Rams. Now, when they met in the playoffs in January, there was snow. Yesterday it was a much warmer situation, and for a good part of the game, it got hot in the pocket for the Eagles' Jalen Hurts. Third quarter, he is hit hard by Jared Verse. Fumbles the ball, setting the Rams up inside the 10, and they take advantage. Matthew Stafford swings it to Kyron Williams. Touchdown Rams, and the Birds are in a 26-7 hole. Late third, Hurts to A.J. Brown. We have a comeback brewing here. Eagles down now at 26-21, and that is where the score stood until late in the fourth. Hurts to Devontae Smith. Touchdown, and the Eagles incredibly take the lead. But too much time, and the Rams are in position to kick the game-winning field goal. Joshua Carty has it blocked. There is Jordan Davis rumbling to the end zone to clinch an Eagles win. The comeback is complete. 33-26. The Eagles are 3-0, heading to Tampa Bay next week. To the D.C. suburbs, Marcus Mariota starting in place of the injured Jaden Daniels. He ran for a touchdown and later passed for a touchdown in Washington's 41-24 win over the Raiders. Burgundy and Gold improves to 2-1 on the season. And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 3 p.m., Parkside takes on Pocomoke in boys soccer, and then at 10:30, you can catch the final score. On the DSM Plus app, along with that soccer match, at 4 p.m., you get Sussex Tech in Seaford in boys soccer. And then at 5, Waihi hosts Queen Anne's in football. 5:15, Sanford faces Tatnall in girls volleyball.
Movie news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Do you want to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey?
Maybe he was right to hesitate. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell made just $3.5 million in its debut weekend, far below studio expectations of $10 million. The drama, which opened to poor reviews, cost a reported $45 million to make.
I found the dramatic structure that I felt would really work for a movie.
Oppenheimer director Christopher Nolan is the new president of the Directors Guild of America. He was elected at the DGA's national convention. Nolan has been on the union's national board since 2015 and a member of the guild since 2001.
There you are. I was looking everywhere for you. I'll be your escort this evening.
The latest film in Studio Ghibli Fest 2025 is Howl's Moving Castle. The 2004 supernatural classic from Hayao Miyazaki is in theaters now through Wednesday. More info and tickets at ghiblifest.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Plenty of sunshine for our Monday afternoon as we usher in fall. It's not going to feel like it in the days ahead. In fact, it's going to feel more like summer ahead of a cold front that will bring some unsettled weather by late week. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full First Alert forecast when Coast TV News Today comes right back.
The time is now 5:49 and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. In a couple hours, Chris, it is going to officially be fall, but if people like Matt are having trouble adjusting to the change of seasons, they're going to be eased in very slowly as it's still warm this week.
Yeah, I mean, wait till you see some of these high temperatures we're forecasting over the next few days. Starting off pretty cool right now. We have clear skies, calm winds. You can see temperatures 51 in Long Neck. We're at 52 Harrington, 52 in Laurel. A bit milder at the coast where temperatures are in the mid 60s. You can see winds are pretty calm for most of Delmarva. Seeing some winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northeast. Dew points are comfortable at this hour, but that's going to be changing by tonight. Warm front's going to be lifting through the area, so by tomorrow through Thursday, we're going to be in that humid to very humid range as those dew points begin to rise. Clear skies for most of the mid-Atlantic, and you see plenty of shower activity back off through the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys. Cold front well back off to the west will be impacting us late Wednesday night. We're at 77 this afternoon, Lewes, 80 Georgetown, 79 Harrington to 77 Easton. Highs around 80 in Salisbury to 79 in Snow Hill. So there's the gorgeous afternoon. Temperatures rising upper 70s to low 80s. Temperatures a bit cooler at the coast. As we go into the overnight, warm front lifts through the area, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Could see some patchy fog into early Tuesday morning as that warm front pushes through. By tomorrow afternoon, mid 80s, feeling like summer, and we stay pretty dry. Could see a late isolated shower mid-shore on points north overnight Tuesday, but I think we stay pretty dry at least through Wednesday night. That cold front pushes through, bringing a chance of scattered showers and storms, and then the best chance of rain comes Thursday through Friday as that front stalls out over the area. So there you go. By Wednesday, we're surging into the mid to upper 80s ahead of the front. Showers and storms possible late Wednesday through early Thursday, and then another round of scattered showers and storms Thursday. And we have the Oceans Calling Music Festival beginning there, Ocean City on Friday. Looking a bit unsettled right now to start, and then the good news is that system may clear out just in time for the weekend as we see cooler temperatures. Hurricane Gabrielle, Category 1 hurricane, 90-mile-an-hour winds sustained, become a Category 3 hurricane into Tuesday, but well off the coast and will likely just kick up swells and provide a dangerous risk of rip currents for us through the week. We're at 80 this afternoon. East winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. 61 overnight. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. A mostly sunny Tuesday. Warmer 84. We're up to 85 on Wednesday. Late shower and storm chances. Most of the day is dry. Thursday, Friday, unsettled, scattered showers and storms as that front stalls out over the area, and we're cloudy and dreary with a high of 80 on Friday. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. The Maryland Folk Festival is now come and gone in Salisbury, and according to festival organizers, the event brings together about 250 of the nation's finest traditional musicians, dancers, craft people, and more.
One of the most amazing things about this festival is some of the fusion music that has been here. So there's been lots of salsa dancing, as well as reggae, funk, hip hop, all kinds of different acts.
This is the third time the festival was held in Salisbury. And even though the festival is over, we are expecting to see several road closures still in place across downtown Salisbury. According to the city's website, some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All the streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th.
The time is now 5:53, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day, our familiar friend, that's Benny on your screen. And Elisa, as you can see, he's very excited to welcome fall.
Maybe more than me. Benny is.
I was going to say, as some of us are, I don't know
I think
about.
Benny beat us all.
Yeah. Benny and his festival fall get-up are submitted to us by Tammy and Seaford.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Scan the QR code at the top to get your friends to Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
The time is now 5:57, and we are going to get another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, Chris Mastrobuono's back with us, and it seems like summer is not ready to let go just yet.
And no, it's not. I mean, it feels pretty cool out there this morning. We're seeing temperatures in the low to mid 50s away from the coast, but by the afternoon, upper 70s to near 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Winds will be relatively light throughout the day. Yeah, fall officially arriving to this afternoon, but look at where we're at tomorrow. 84 as a warm front pushes through the region. 85 into Wednesday. Late shower and storms possible there, but a better chance Thursday through Friday as a front stalls out over the region. Hopefully we'll kick the showers out of here before the start of the weekend. Could start with a few showers early Saturday, but we are trending drier for the rest of the weekend with some much cooler temperatures by the end of that 10-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, Millsboro Bypass completion. It's almost here. The big undertaking that is supposed to free up traffic on the John J. Williams Highway. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.